Hi folks, Tony here. Hope you're well. You find me in a very sunny Northern Ireland where I have joined Honda to attend the Northwest 200. Now, I've never been to this event before, so I jumped at the chance to come along and do this. And in this video, I want to give you a flavour of what the event is like, but we're also going to go out and do some touring, visit some of the sites up on the coast, riding a variety of bikes. So in this video you can expect to see some of the racing, some of the sights and sounds of the Northwest 200. It's going to be a good one. Set against the backdrop of Northern Ireland's stunning Causeway Coast, this is one of the fastest and most iconic road races in the world. The course loops through the towns of Port Stewart, Coleraine and Portrush, forming what's often called the Triangle. It's just under 9 miles of public roads that for 1 week each May transform into a high-speed racetrack where bikes regularly hit 200 miles an hour. The Northwest 200 dates back to 1929 and has grown from humble beginnings into one of the biggest sporting fixtures in Northern Ireland. These days it attracts huge crowds and some of the best riders in the sport, all racing elbow to elbow on real roads. There have been plenty of changes over the years to improve safety and manage the sheer speed of modern bikes, but the heart of the event is still the same: racing, bravery and an atmosphere that brings fans back year after year. Okay, so here we are, day one. We arrived here yesterday when I had a mooch around and look around the pits. Today we're on the bikes. It's practice day today, so we are going to go and bounce around from point to point to watch some of the practicing. So I'll show you some bike action, and then we're heading down to watch the races that are happening this evening. Tomorrow we're on a day out around the Northern Ireland coast, and then Saturday we're watching the racing. So at the moment we're staying in a really nice B&B in Coleraine, and from there we obviously head up to Portrush. We've been blessed with the weather, absolutely beautiful, and it is set to stay like this for the rest of the event, I believe. We've got a small group here on this trip, so we've got our lead rider David Dew at the front there. In front of me is esteemed journalist and editor of Classic Bike magazine Hugo Wilson. Behind me I've got Lucia Alcott. Behind her is TV's very own Grace Webb, and then Ian from Honda at the very back. A nice group of people. In the distance you can see Portrush, so we'll be down there in a second.
So yeah, it's just experience coming in.
When you start to see these guys pushing the bikes the way they do on these exact road surfaces, I know it is road racing, but when you're actually here and you're riding on the roads that they're racing on, you just realise the level of skill and commitment and bravery. Well, morning folks, it is Friday morning, and Friday at Northwest 200 means there's no racing. We had qualifying yesterday in the morning, and then there was an evening race, or 3 evening races, and then today's a rest day, and then you've got the full program again tomorrow. So we're taking this opportunity to take the bikes out and get up onto the coast of Northern Ireland, see some scenic stuff. It's been a really good trip so far. My first time at Northwest 200, and it's an absolute blast. And actually being able to come with Honda and sort of get the knowledge, the local knowledge, and to a certain extent the access. But having said that, we've only been using the regular fan grandstands, and it's just been amazing. And today I think we've been blessed with the weather. It's just blue skies, a little bit nippy, but for this part of the world, absolutely fantastic weather to be riding in, and today's going to be pretty good. I'll just give you a quick rundown of the fleet that we've got. So we've got a Transalp,
Yes.
which I think, Lucia, you're riding the Transalp today?
Yes, and I'm worried I'm going to compare it too much to my own bike.
Your V-Strom?
Yes.
Perfect test.
Yeah.
Our Honda representative is keeping tight-lipped about that concept
Always.
until the content is released.
Exactly. I'll try and persuade you in the correct direction.
We've got this lovely CBR 650R, but this one is an E-clutch. So it's got the fancy pants E-clutch. You could call me Mr. Boring, but I've been on the NT1100, but I absolutely love this bike. It's just a road-going Africa twin, super comfortable, and actually really good fun to ride. We've got a Hornet SP, which Grace has been riding, a standard Hornet, an Africa twin, which Mr. Dew grabbed early on, and then we have this. So Hugo bought this VFR and rode it over from the UK, got the ferry across from Stranraer, a VFR 750, which is a little tired, shall we say, but this was bought for the grand old cost of £1 per cc, so a 750 quid VFR, and it made it comfortably here with no problems from Lincolnshire. So that's what we're riding. Let's show you how beautiful this coastline is. So we are actually now going to do a lap of the circuit. We're not going to do it in 4.5 minutes like the superbikes, but at least you'll get to see the full loop. Tor Road, which runs from Tor Head down to Cushendall, is a spectacular piece of coastal road, and it very quickly dropped into my top 10 favourite roads I've ever ridden. If you're in this part of the world, I would definitely recommend taking this route, and actually I have got a GPX file of this entire route on my website, and I'll leave a link in the description and on the screen if you want to download it if you're travelling out there. Definitely a fantastic piece of road, so I'm going to show you more of this than I have the rest of the route. So that was the day out of riding. Absolutely fantastic. The weather, the roads, the bikes, the scenery. The road from Tor Head is now in my top 10 of favourite roads, possibly top 5. Fantastic place. And then to be able to go to Ballymoney and go to Joey's Bar. Tomorrow is the racing. What I hope to do is just bring you a flavour of the event. So if you've never been over here and you fancy coming and combining the Northwest 200 with some touring, I would highly recommend it. So Saturday morning, race day, sun is shining again. The beauty of coming with Honda is I've got access to the pits, but this is just preparing for the start of the Superbike race.
Thanks, Maggie.
But there was controversy in the first Superbike race. Michael Dunlop and Peter Hickman both missed the Mathers chicane. Hickman stopped and put his foot down as per the rules. Dunlop didn't, which earned him a 10-second penalty. That was very quickly rescinded, which ended up giving him the victory in the race. Luckily, I was close to the TV point, so both riders can offer their side of the story.
We ran off the chicane. We were pushed into the chicane. Pete jumped over. They jumped over the grass, which was dangerous. We were over the curb. We got going. We ran on the metal chicane. Come back to win. The rule says if you go through the chicane, as in you go through the stop box, you should stop, put your foot down. For safety reasons, I couldn't do that. I couldn't jump off the grass onto the stop box. It was just really dangerous.
Yeah, it's dead simple. If you're running through a chicane, you have to stop in the stop box, put your foot down and go again. Me and Michael obviously got pulled in by me into Mathers Cross. We both missed the chicane. Michael went straight on. I got across, stopped in the stop box and went like you meant to. Don't do that, you get a 10-second penalty. That's the rules. So as far as I'm concerned, one of us gets a 10-second penalty and one of us doesn't.
For a change of scenery, we moved over to the spectator grandstand for the start of the Super Twins and then walked along the coast road to take up a position right by the road at Millbank, where you really do get an impression of the speed of these bikes. We headed back to the grid for the final race of the day and joined the team to watch their guys fight it out on track. Then we headed back to the hospitality tent where the bidding in the auctions was getting a little bit spicy.
At 17,000, down race again at 17,000. Anybody else? At 17,000 the back corner. 18,000. 18,000. There's only one way. I need to round it to 20. 20,000. 20,000 pounds. Back corner of the room at 20,000 pounds. Any advance? It's your bid. It's your bid. 20,000. You're in. At 20,000. Don't get panicky, Sabak. At 20,000. Once. 21,000. 21,000 pounds. Against you. 22,000. 22,000. At 22,000 pounds once. 22,000 pounds. 23,000. 25,000. 25,000. The very back. 25,000 once. 25,000 twice. For the third and final time of 25,000. So, 25,000! Give her a round of applause! Thank you so much!
Well, after all of that excitement, it was time to take one last walk down this beautiful coastline and pitch ourselves up on the seafront to have fish and chips for dinner, followed by an ice cream. Obviously, I'd like to thank Honda Motorcycles UK for the invitation to the Northwest 200. Such a good weekend, an absolute blast. I also want to say thank you to the Northwest 200 crew, Hugo, Lucia and Grace, for making it a really fun and enjoyable event. If you enjoy a bit of road racing and you've never been out to the Northwest 200, then I highly recommend it. I cannot guarantee that you'll have the beautiful weather that we had, but you'll have a whale of a time regardless. So thank you for watching, and all that leaves me to say is until next time, take care, ride safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.